This is Duke University.
Hi, my name is Daniela Weiner. I'm a Ph.D. student at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill in the Department of History. I'm in my second year of the Ph.D. and I'm also a fellow for the Duke Council for European Studies.
Hi, my name is Lea Greenberg and I'm a second year Ph.D. student in the Carolina-Duke Joint Graduate Program in German Studies. And this is my first year as a fellow with the Center for European Studies Society of Fellows.
My work looks at how the post-fascist states of East Germany, West Germany, and Italy taught their youth about the Second World War and about the Holocaust and how they dealt with their own complicity and how they used history textbooks, because history textbooks are my primary source, to kind of transmit democratic values, to rebuild their nation, to kind of create national narratives.
So what inspired you to look at textbooks?
So I actually was a middle school teacher. I taught middle school for 3 years before coming to do my PhD. I came in with kind of a pedagogy background, and I had, before becoming a teacher, done work on Holocaust memory, and so kind of this research topic married those two interests. I thought about it, I started developing the topic, and then I was able to get some funding to go to the International Textbook Archive at the Georg Eckart Institute of International Textbook Research. So we're both in the same working group. We're both in the working group entitled Jews and Muslims, Histories, Diasporas, and the Meaning of the European.
So I'm interested in looking at Jewish identity in the German-speaking lands, and particularly how Jewishness is refashioned and to fit into the idea of the European, and then also how that relates to ideas of nation building and where Jewishness can fit within that paradigm. So what I've been doing with my research opportunities at the Center for European Studies is I've been looking at sort of how Eastern European Jews may have been considering Jewishness, secular Jewishness, and critiquing religiosity as it relates to ideas from the Western European Enlightenment.
So we're talking 18th century?
Yeah, so what I've, sort of my springboard has been reading a lot of Moses Mendelssohn, who is seen in some ways as one of the first figures of the Jewish Enlightenment, the Haskalah.
Yes.
But he was working in Berlin. So I'm looking sort of in this milieu of German writers and thinkers and how he's considering Jewishness among these Enlightenment ideals. And then from that, I'm looking to look sort of eastwards how members of the Haskalah in the 19th century were considering Jewishness and a secular identity. So the working group for me has really provided an opportunity to get out of the bubble of working within my own field and my own department. Also working with historians or working with people in religious studies, there's just a very different, maybe methodological or disciplinary approach to research.
The working group provides for me kind of the opportunity to test drive certain portions of my master's essay that I was presenting and defending, a conference paper that I was going to show and get people's feedback, and really just kind of get myself comfortable with presenting my academic work. So it's been really nice for that.
For me, it has been very helpful to bring in papers that I'm working on to the working group, not necessarily things that are part of new research that I've done, but bringing in, for example, my thesis on Moses Mendelssohn's text Jerusalem, in which he defends Judaism. I've been reading this text over and over again for months. I cannot see anything new with this text, so it really helps to just bring it to someone who's never looked at it before, to help me sort of have a little fresh start and a fresh look at it.
I also found that my research is done kind of in 3 different languages, so English, Italian, and German. And I remember I brought in my paper to the working group, and it took someone else telling me, you know, you really need to translate all these terms before I realized that not everyone was reading it and it was making sense to them.
So in terms of my new research, an opportunity that I've had with the Center for European Studies and its support has been to do some research of Yiddish texts. So last summer, I took some time to study Yiddish in Tel Aviv. And then in January, then I did some research at YIVO in New York to look at some texts from the Yiddish author Isaac Meir Dick, who is seen as someone who's sort of overlooked among Yiddish writers. So I'm looking forward to delving into that as sort of where I might go as I move toward the dissertation.
So the research funds for me are going towards a summer research trip to go back to the Georg Eckart Institute of International Textbook Research and collect more primary source data, and also to go to Rome and look at the archives of the Ministry of Education, the Italian Ministry of Education. So it's going to allow me to kind of broaden out my dissertation research and kind of explore different avenues as I work towards finishing the dissertation proposal.